और ईटी नाउ की कंसल्टिंग एडिटर मैथिली से एक्सक्लूसिव बातचीत में आरबीआई के पूर्व गवर्नर रघुराम राजन ने कहा है कि मौजूदा समय में कोरोना की दूसरी लहर और वायरस का नया स्ट्रेन अनिश्चितता के दो बड़े कारण हैं। उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि वायरस के प्रसार को रोकने के लिए कठोर नियमों का सहारा लेना पड़ेगा।
The growing worry in the United States that inflation, even if not permanently high, given the post global financial crisis experience, is going to start showing up a little more.
Yes.
And then the question is, how long will central banks remain on hold if inflation perks up more strongly? The Fed has said it's going to look through sort of initial bouts of inflation and look to what might be permanently higher. But everybody is asking, how long will the Fed stay on hold? Right now, the Fed has said it's not even thinking about raising interest rates. So that's a pretty strong argument to believe it will be quite some time before the Fed raises rates. And I think that's a fair point. But markets, of course, react before the central banks will react. And you already see the 10-year bond, the rates have moved up over the last few weeks. The vaccine, the advent of the vaccines certainly put a time stamp on when we hope the pandemic will be fully contained. Of course, there is some uncertainty about the rollout of the vaccine, but the sense is by the third quarter of next year, most of the population in industrial countries will be vaccinated. And therefore, the high contact services, hospitality, restaurants, they will be back in business at that point. What is a big uncertainty, actually two sources of uncertainty. One is the second wave, which is more virulent, which is causing countries to reach new highs in terms of cases. When that will be contained and what drastic measures will be needed. The UK just implemented very significant drastic measures to contain the spread of the second wave. And that is going to impinge severely on economic activity in the first quarter of this year. Does it have to be longer? That's the big uncertainty. And so between now and the third quarter, what is the level of economic activity? So far, it still is impinging on high contact services, not so much on manufacturing, where companies have figured out how to do social distancing and so on. But there is, services are certainly the biggest part of economic activity here. Highly skilled services seem to be continuing. People are doing business, finance, consulting all over the online. But the low-skilled, high-contact services are still in abeyance. So that's about 10-20% of the economy, which will be severely affected if these lockdowns continue. The other big question is the mutation of the virus, right? The second wave is being caused by, certainly in the UK, by a mutation. And the question is, are our vaccines capable of handling further mutations? So far, the answer seems to be yes, but that's not complete. That is the tail risk that we don't contain the virus fully.